There's been a lot of speculation online regarding the ascent of Mercedes Mone to this all-in spot and accumulating championships, with a lot of people speculating that she has creative control. And even though I don't think a lot of people understand maybe the difference between input and control, can you speak to that, confirm, deny it, or even the rumors that she dictates her own creative and the direction of her programs?
Yeah, that's definitely not true at all. So I would love to talk about that. First of all, the person you're talking about, Mercedes Mone, is an incredible, incredible talent. I have wanted Mercedes Mone in AEW. I want Mercedes Mone as a big star on the show, and really enjoy working with her backstage and as a great talent. And she's done great things for the company doing media, and is just a great person. I think Mercedes is a great addition to AEW. I also think that is ridiculous, the idea that people would think that because she's a strong wrestler on the show that she must be the one dictating that. That is the complete opposite of what happens here. And I think we've done a really great job this year in particular with a really focused build, and I think the best run of television we've ever had through the past 6 months in 2025. I just think it's been a great year for the company, and I am the only person with creative control over the show. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for what you see, and I'm really proud this year because I think this has been one of the best years, 6 months into the year so far, we've ever done of television. And philosophically, really, since the start of the year, in particular this year, let me go back. I've had the final say since day one of AEW. And Sean, are you muted? Are you still there?
He's muted, but I can bring him back.
Yeah, bring him back. Thanks, Rob.
Okay, I'm back.
So, hey. So I rarely do this, but since it's such an insightful question. So, I think you've been covering AEW basically since day one, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it's an insightful question you asked. So I'll try to make this like an interactive, like we would do if you were at the scrum.
Sure.
I think that's a good question. I have had the final creative control since the beginning of the company, and I really think we launched very successfully. When we started doing Dynamite the first few months, I was pretty open, I think, that around the holidays, I said I plan to come back with tighter focus in 2020, and that
you said it was a New Year's resolution.
Yes, it was a New Year's resolution, and then in January, it's like a lot of New Year's resolutions that people make. It sometimes takes time to make a good transition into something you want to do. In that case, for me, it was going into 2020. I said I really am going to only do things I believe in, and I'm not going to be talked into something I don't believe in. It's possible I'm either going to let me rephrase that. I'm either going to try to focus on AEW doing things that I come in and bring to the table and say, this is really what I want to do. Or if somebody has an idea and then I hear it and I say, okay, I really strongly believe in that. That is the way to go. You're right. But if I don't believe in it, I'm being talked into it, I'm dragged across the finish line. I just have found that those things are usually the things that don't work. And what's even worse is then when they don't work, there's nobody to blame but yourself. So in 2020, 5 years ago, I had said that's what I'm going to try to do. And I really felt like the shows in early 2020 were at that point the best we had done. And the build to the original Revolution in 2020 was some of our best work. And I thought that mindset really served us well then going into the pandemic in 2020. And fast forward several years later, we've done a lot of great work. We built the company and secured the media rights deal that was really important for our future. And again, in 2024, 5 years later, we're having so much success, yet I am finding at times I'm having so many great people with their ideas, and I'm listening to so many ideas, and I found there was a lot of input that I would take from people, and I would listen to a lot of suggestions and ideas, and I made a resolution again 5 years later, the same resolution that I had made around the holidays in 2024 that I had made in 2019, which was that AEW is going to have a great year, and that I believe that 2025 was going to be that great year, and that I wanted to take a similar mindset and similar approach. And so this year, I think you're seeing the most focused AEW in many, many years, and the best AEW in many, many years, in part because there's less voices. I'm taking less input. I'm still listening to ideas, but if I don't feel 100% about it, I'm not going to do it. And that's been, I think, a really positive change for the company. And I think the shows in the 2025, the way things have come together reflects that positively. Now, I have such a high opinion of Mercedes in particular. I also have a very high opinion of her opponent, Timeless Toni Storm. I think they're two of the best wrestlers on the planet. They're two people I meet with every single week, at least once a week, but usually multiple times a week, and hear out ideas they might have, and they hear out ideas I have. But for both of them, I'm very involved in the direction of their character personally. They have people that they'll work with in Mercedes' case, somebody she'd worked with for a long time, which is Jen. And I work really well with Jen and Mercedes. And in Tony's case, I found somebody to help me work on it, which is RJ, who is my assistant there. But in the case of Tony or Mercedes or so many of the other great talents that I'll work with closely, I have the final say on what they do. And in the case of this match, it's something that I really wanted to have in AEW for a very long time. But I also think that it's something the fans have wanted to see in AEW for a long time. And we've done a great job, in my opinion, building to this for over a year as a match that the fans absolutely are going to want to see. But the idea that anybody in AEW has a creative control card, or that's why anybody would get a push here is because they dictate it, that's not how it works. And I think we have a great, great company, and we're having a great, great year. And it's because of, first and foremost, the people I mentioned earlier, the groups of people that all work together here to make this happen, which is a team effort between the wrestlers, the staff, and the fans all working together 52 weeks a year. And none of us can exist without the others. The person you asked about, Mercedes, that's a great example. She's a great, great wrestler. She's a focus of the show. She's the TBS champion because she's a hugely followed and hugely talented star who brings so much to the table. I'm glad you asked about that, because I've seen people infer that she must have, some kind of a creative card because she's such a feature on the show. But that's ridiculous to me, because when you have somebody of that stature, you'd want to feature them. You'd want to push them strongly. And I think that's why, frankly, in the case of Mercedes Mone, she is not only one of the biggest stars in AEW, but backstage, she's a great person to work with. I found her to be very, very receptive. And even if she comes in with an idea that points in one direction, I might have an idea that faces 180 degrees in the total opposite direction. But if I really feel strongly about it, I've found that she's somebody that is going to do what I believe and is very trusting of AEW, somebody that really likes working in AEW and likes being here. And I think one of the great things we've done in 2025 is try to focus AEW this entire year around the people that want to be here, the people that care about AEW, and the people that work really hard for us every week. And I think Mercedes is a great example of that. Somebody who's a really hardworking, very talented pro wrestler.